All right, there we are, up to number 10, but we're going to focus on 12 initially. That's the first guy we haven't spoken about on that list that you see, Ryan Tannehill, the 2019 Comeback Player of the Year, and now number 12 on the Chris Simms Top 40 Quarterback Countdown. As Shereen Williams said in 2019 when he was the Comeback Player of the Year, what is he coming back from? Sucking? That was her quote. Not mine. And she's a staunch Texas A&M supporter, and Tannehill played receiver at A&M before becoming a quarterback, I think for a year at A&M, and then becoming the 8th overall pick in the draft. I've always been a Ryan Tannehill fan. It never worked out for him in Miami. The planets never quite aligned, and then he goes to Tennessee, and everything falls into place. And here he is entering the second year of a contract that, frankly, is better than Patrick Mahomes, better than Deshaun Watson's, and he's on a team that was on the cusp of the Super Bowl just 2 years ago, Chris, and you've got him at number 12. Why do you regard him as being in that sort of echelons?
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, the thing we got to do is get over the 2017, 2018 narrative. That's the first thing. Like, no, it's 2021. Shut the hell up, and Ryan Tannehill's good. Right? Get over your old narrative. It's over. He's proven it wrong, and it was better in Miami than people ever wanted to give it credit for, as we've talked about a lot anyways. But the thing about Ryan Tannehill that I think is amazing, and this is one of my quotes on my recent podcast, and I had one of my homies at Dr. Babies there, he wrote it because I said this, move the F on. Stop holding, it's Ryan Tannehill. Because this was all coming out. Wait, Julio said he wanted to go to somewhere where they had a top-end quarterback and a big arm. Yeah, Ryan Tannehill is a top-end quarterback with a big arm. Maximizes more down-the-field throws than maybe just about anybody in football. That's the thing people got to get over with Ryan Tannehill. The degree of difficulty in the throws he's asked to make are high. He makes them all the time with ease and doesn't leave yards on the field like we talk about so much, Mike. I mean, he's a good athlete. It's 7 rushing touchdowns. He controls the football. He's clutch. Yards per completion are as good as anybody in football. And they're going to throw the ball down the field, and he still throws it down there with great success. So that's where he's really damn good. He's tough. He's able to play in the pocket. We know he can scramble and run and do those things. He's really played phenomenal football the last 2 years. And yes, hands down for me is one of the 12 best quarterbacks in football. It felt weird putting him at 12, honestly, Mike. I think his play, in a lot of ways, you could justify him maybe being higher than that, but there's some damn good quarterbacks in football right now.
Is it just me, or does he look larger with the Titans than he ever did with the Dolphins? Does that make sense?
It does.
He looks bigger.
Yeah, uniforms can do that, and I do think it looks like he's thickened out a little bit, he definitely got bigger legs than he did in that Miami Dolphins uniform and those type of things. But hey, he really fits how they want to play. Run the ball, okay, scare you to death with the run game, creep up to the line of scrimmage. Hey, we're going to make you defend the whole field because we're going to throw 70-yard bombs over the top of your head to Corey Davis or A.J. Brown, now A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. So that's where he's really good. We know he has the threat of helping out the run game because he can keep it around the edge on the read option and run for 30 yards down the sideline and do all that. Really has played the game from a mental, physical standpoint pretty top-notch, Mike. If there was one complaint, I would go, he's a great athlete. You mentioned he's an ex-receiver. I think he could scramble and make more plays in the back end, than he gives him credit for. But everything else is pretty top-notch, and he's got to be happy with his play the last 2 years.
Derrick Henry has had his best 2 seasons with Ryan Tannehill as the quarterback. Now, he's had a lot more touches the last 2 years as well. He went from 215 in 2018 to 303 rushing attempts in 2019 and all the way to 378 last year as he became the latest 2,000-yard rusher. How much, though, does Tannehill's presence give rise to what we've seen from Henry? Does it happen for Henry without Tannehill?
I don't think so. They need some type of quarterback like a Tannehill in there for Henry to have, these last 2 years that we've seen. Because really, hey, in 2018, you talk about those stats and him not getting as many carries and those type of things either. Hey, well, the quarterback play dictated that. Nobody was scared of the quarterback. Everybody's at the line of scrimmage. So, first down, we ran for nothing. Oh, second down, we ran for nothing. Okay, now third down, we got to throw it. Hey, next time we come out, now we're punting. Next time we come out, we can't run the ball. We got to try to back these guys off. We can't do it. So there goes 2 or 3 carries, maybe more, that Derrick Henry doesn't get. So, yes, I do believe Ryan Tannehill has directly affected Derrick Henry and his success. We know Derrick Henry's the man no matter who plays quarterback, but Tannehill opens the field up, and he opens the field up to the point where, yeah, if you do want to put those extra guys in the box, you're taking a big chance one-on-one down the field with these guys, because Tannehill is not afraid to pull the trigger on deep throws, and he's usually on the money.
Okay, a fair question raised by where is it? Ya boy El Rey. Should there be any worry of Ryan Tannehill having a drop-off with the departure of Arthur Smith, former offensive coordinator, now the head coach of the Falcons? Todd Downing takes over as the offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans. Yeah,
yes, a little bit. I mean, how can you deny that? But Todd Downing, I think, smart enough and playing for Mike Vrabel that I don't think the formula on offense is going to change a whole lot. It's still going to be running the ball, play action pass, do that type of stuff, and work it. So I'm not necessarily as concerned with that. I do guess I get a little concerned with the dominance of the offensive line of the Titans to a degree. Can they continue to dominate the way they have the last few years? Taylor Lewan coming back from injury. The first-round pick and Isaiah Wynn didn't come through. They've had to kind of put patchwork together, this offensive line, a little bit here. But I don't think it's going to be a lot of or much of a different look from the offense. And maybe the run game isn't quite what we've seen the last 2 years, but I would expect this is where Julio Jones comes into play to kind of make up the difference for that. And I still would expect this to be one of the more dangerous offenses in football this year.
Downing has on his resume worked with Derek Carr as the offensive coordinator of the Raiders back when Carr was an MVP candidate. So that is a feather in his cap. And once Downing lost the job with the Raiders, it kind of bottomed out for him. He's been working his way back up, but here he is taking over for Arthur Smith after Smith leaves. Anytime it changes, anytime it's different, that raises a question as to the continuity, the consistency. Can the quarterback continue to develop? Can this coach get the most out of that player?
Yeah, you're right, Mike. Hey,
has been.
Ooh, sorry, Mike. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, but you're right. They were the number 2 offense in football last year. I don't know if everybody realizes that sometimes. The Tennessee Titans were number 2 in football behind the Kansas City Chiefs with yards per game. So, yeah, the pressure is on. There's no doubt. You're right. There's a spotlight. And if they fall too far, Todd Downing will be the guy that gets blamed.
And the presence of Julio Jones ramps up that pressure.
Definitely.
For everybody.
Yes.
It increases expectations for everybody. And you've got a new personality. You've got to get properly meshed with the rest of the team. You have to hope it works, and everyone's assuming it's going to be fantastic. You have nowhere to go but down. I can understand why. We haven't heard a lot from Mike Vrabel about Julio Jones. I can understand why. I think maybe he's trying to, let's take this slow.
Sure.
I mean, but we can't just assume all of a sudden we're going to be the 99 Rams this year. And everyone is expecting an explosion from the Titans now that they've gone out and gotten Julio Jones. All right, let's move on to a team that some are expecting an explosion from by virtue of the fact that they have a great young quarterback, 6th overall pick in 2020, Justin Herbert. All those questions about Herbert. My gosh, in hindsight, I don't know, maybe you could argue he should have been the 2nd overall pick in the draft, if not the 1st overall pick in the draft. Justin Herbert coming in at number 11, the offensive rookie of the year. It would have been Joe Burrow, but for the torn ACL. Herbert wins it in a runaway. He got thrust into the lineup after Dr. Needle had his encounter with Tyrod Taylor, and he had 5 minutes notice for his first NFL start, and he started great, and he only got better as the year went on.
He did. And listen, I don't know. Do you think it would have been Burrow? I mean, I don't know. Herbert was, of course.
I think it would have been Burrow. Because Burrow set the narrative early.
Yeah, I get you.
And if Burrow would have kept playing like he had, I think it would have been Burrow.
Yeah, the Bengals and everything like that. Yeah, it'd been interesting to see. It certainly would have. I mean, because Burrow, made some wow plays. We know that. He's right. If he doesn't hurt his knee, he's right here in this conversation around 12, 11, 10, 9, whatever, somewhere in there. But Herbert, I think where you start the conversation is like holy cow, holy arm Batman. I mean, he's one of the top 5 throwers of the football in the whole NFL, I think, already. There's no doubt. Arm is wow strong. I mean, unreal size. Can throw the ball any which way in the pocket. The one thing when I went back and watched film, Mike, and break him down, just how many throws like off the back foot with pressure around him or the pocket collapsing, and he's just unaffected and still throwing a 20-yard laser down the middle of the field, to Keenan Allen or somebody like that. That's where it's really impressive. And he's got great composure, but also with the size and the arm we're talking about, it's a guy who can really, run too. And whether it was get outside the pocket, make throws on the run that way, whatever it may be, he can do it all physically. And you saw mentally he was capable of handling everything with it. So the sky's the limit. This guy's got superstar talent, and he's a big-time football player, and he's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, hey, look, I agree with you completely. And the Chargers now have to build the team around him to fulfill his promise and allow him to get to his ceiling. And this is a team that's been to a Super Bowl, right? One Super Bowl, 94, Super Bowl 29. They've had teams that were Super Bowl worthy. They've had maybe a team that's going to get mentioned coming up here in our draft today that looked like they were on track to a Super Bowl and it all fell apart.
Yeah.
They go from Phillip Rivers to Justin Herbert. Not a bad passing of the baton, and now we just have to see what they can do with it. And look, it stinks for Herbert to be stuck in the division with Patrick Mahomes, but as we look for the next Manning Brady, maybe it's Herbert Mahomes, since they're going to play each other twice a year every year.
I don't think that's crazy. I mean, he has the type of talent to take over football games, and we saw moments of him doing that last year. Whether it was the first half of that Bucs game, pressure all around him, he's throwing bombs up and down the field. We saw what he did against the New Orleans Saints. They're trying to blitz him like crazy. He keeps just making a guy miss, throwing, doing stuff like that. To me, Mike, that is the only I want to see more of a presence from his personality this year, right? I mean, we showed our ranking already. This is where Brady got the notch above a Justin Herbert at 10 as compared to 11. Presence, leadership, knowing the game of when to take a chance, when to check it down. Wait, we're kind of getting our butts rolled here by the New England Patriots. I need to start making some plays. We're down 14-0. I got to just start doing it and push the limit a little bit, get us back in the game. That, to me, is the next phase for Justin Herbert. When you break him down, everything else is really good. It's just now going, exerting yourself, being a leader, having more of a presence on the football field, and knowing when that moment is to go, okay, I have to play maybe a little reckless now because we're not playing good today, and I got to put the team on my back and make some plays happen. And if he does that, he'll be up there in, Mahomes and Rogersville before you know it.
And when you are so highly regarded, when you win the Offensive Rookie of the Year, if you stay healthy, you do keep ascending. You do have that aura about you. Even if you don't have to try to do it, they're going to listen to you. And look, the personality type has a lot to do with what kind of a leader a franchise quarterback is going to be and how much he does set the tone. And I agree with you. That's an important part of the skill set. And we don't know yet because it is so early for him. And look, in his defense, he played most of his rookie season. Tom Brady was third on the depth chart and never played. So right. Herbert's ahead of the curve. He's got a head start over Brady. He's got a head start over Mahomes. He played a lot in his rookie year. He was the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and we'll see where he takes it from here. Let's go ahead and take a break. Speaking of Brady, you noticed on the graphic at the start of the segment, Tom Brady at number 10. Plenty of people are upset about Tom Brady at number 10. And Chris has explained himself in other formats on other shows. He gets his opportunity to go under the hot light of my interrogation because I'm coming at him, baby. Why do you have Tom Brady at number 10? Why are you jealous of Tom Brady?
Jealousy. That's it. It's jealous. It's jealous.
Hey,
I have a crap life, and I want his life. That's crap. I want his life.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.